Welcome, 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 cacaoistas. I'm Sorrell, plant spirit medicine woman, and today I want to guide you on a journey to connect with the spirit of the forest. This has become a way of connecting with the forest that wasn't necessary for me once upon a time. I used to live near a lot of trees, and more recently moving to an area which is rather bereft of trees, I've discovered how important the forest is to me. Often it is the lack of something that makes us realize how much we love it and need it. And so today we'll be journeying together in a shamanic way to connect with the trees, with the spirit of the forest. And we will explore what that means for ourselves in the unique way that it manifests. We'll be working with cacao if you wish to, but this is utterly optional. The gongs and the guidance that I offer are enough for you to have a wonderful, deep experience of connection with the forest using some visualization processes, which I'll guide you through in a moment. But first of all, let us begin by cleansing our energy and calling in the sacred 7 directions so that we're in sacred space together, so that we've opened the vessel to receive the medicine that we're calling in today. So first of all, to cleanse our energy, we're going to use an energy technique that only involves our hands rather than smoke or feathers or any other techniques, because this is a really simple way that we can cleanse our energy field at any moment. We can place our hands in front of our heart. If you want to, you can stand up, but this is equally good if you want to do this sitting down. Hands in front of the heart, and we're imagining that the heart chakra is opening up and pouring love and light into our cupped hands in front of our heart. So almost prayer position, but just cupped a little bit to receive the love and light. Gathering that love and light up, we gather it and take it over our heads. We open up to the universe. And the universe showers us with love and light as well. We gather that love and light up into our arms, and then we bring it all the way over the outside of our energy field and all the way down to the ground. This is cleansing away any energy which is stuck to our aura, more like the projections from the outside world that might attach to us. So when we cleanse them away, we give them to the earth, and we thank Mama Earth for taking them away. And she composts them and turns them into new energy that can be used for growth and expansion. So coming back to our heart again, we can tune into our heart chakra opening, allowing that energy to flow into our hands, scooping it up over the top of our heads, opening up, sharing it with the universe. And now the universe showers us with love and light, and we bring that energy all the way through the next layer, which is the outside of the body, and all the way through to the outside of the aura. So this middle layer that we're working with is the emotions. So cleansing away any old emotions which you don't want to keep in your energy field anymore. Any anxiety, any tension, any stress, any worry, any depression or anger, anything at all which you just want to shake yourself free from. Just picturing the love and the light of the universe helping you to release those energies into the ground. Mama Earth taking them away, composting them and turning them into something fresh and new again. Coming back to the heart now. We gather the energy from our heart, the love and the light that emanates from our heart space. And we scoop that energy up and we carry it over our heads, and we share that love and light with the universe. Now let's bring the love and light of the universe through the physical layers. All the way through the head, the neck, the shoulders, all the way through all the cells of the body, every part, all the spaces in between. You might tune in also to the meridians, the chakras, all the way down to the ground, cleansing any physical discomfort, dis-ease, any issues which have gone deeper into the physical layers can be cleansed away. Thank Mother Earth for taking those away, doing her job as a powerful sorceress to compost them and turn them into something good again. Okay, now we are cleansed as best as we can be for our practice today. Now I'm going to call in the directions with you. So for those of you who are drinking your cacao, if you've saved your cup of cacao for this moment, which I hope you did, but I didn't necessarily advise you to do that at the very beginning. So we will begin by sharing our cacao with the 7 directions, and I'll guide you through that process now. We're calling in the directions in a Mayan way, working with the archetypal energies of the Mayan medicine wheel. So turning away from you for a moment as I face east, we call upon the spirits of the east. We call upon the dawn and the rising sun. We call upon the fire element. And we call on Condor and Eagle, who help us to fly and see with eagle eyes today. Take us up into the heavens, flying wingtip to wingtip with Great Spirit, carrying our prayers high. Please help us today on our journey. We welcome you and share our cacao with you. Oh. Connecting in with our friends in the south direction, we call upon the spirits of the south. We welcome you to our ceremony. We invite you here today to help us connect with the water energy, to connect with the flow of life. We want to invite you to join us to drink our cacao, and we welcome also Mama Snake, who teaches us how to connect with the earth, heartbeat to heartbeat, as she does every day, because the way that she moves on the ground with no legs, she helps us to feel that way of connection. She also teaches us how to shed the past, the way that she sheds her skin. So for these wonderful teachings that you offer us today, Mama Snake, we invite you to our ceremony and share our cacao with you. Aho. Connecting in now with the spirits of the West. We welcome in the earth, the fertility of life, the dusk and the setting sun. In this place, we welcome Mama Jaguar. Mama Jaguar helps us to stalk our shadow. She helps us see the parts of us which we might be hiding from or might be hiding from us. And as we find ourselves, we find our own shadow, we can bring it home, we can heal it, we can integrate it and become whole again. So thank you, Mama Jaguar, for protecting our medicine space and helping us to be brave today. We welcome you, sharing our cacao with you. Oh. Connecting in with our friends in the north direction, we welcome you. We welcome the night, the bright moon shining. We welcome the air and clarity of thought. In this place, we also welcome our ancestors. This means those who have passed away before us, but equally those who have yet to be born. We welcome you. Oh, we also welcome in Hummingbird. Hummingbird teaches us to trust the path that we're on, and only to accept the best in our lives. We welcome you. Oh. Now we connect with the earth beneath us. So I'm going to come down to the floor and humble myself in the presence of Mama Earth and all our earth relations. We want to welcome in particularly the spirit of the forest today, which we're going to connect with on this earthly plane. We want to welcome in all our other earth relations too. All of the plant people, the stone people, the animals, furry, feathered and finned, creepy, crawly ones, the slithery, slimy ones too. We want to welcome in particularly the mushrooms today because they live in the forest most commonly. And we also want to welcome in all the other beings that live in the forest, whether they're visible or invisible. Perhaps we want to welcome in the fairies today too, to be playful and teach us how to stalk our shadow and be the best versions of ourselves. We welcome you, aho, and share our cacao. Now connecting up to the sky, we welcome in Father Sky. We welcome in the breath of life and the winds of change and the blue skies and the grey. And we thank you for protecting us and Mother Earth and all her children from the void of space with your magical atmosphere. And we share our cacao with you, aho. We also want to call in Grandmother Moon, Grandfather Sun, the star nations, and all of the cosmic realm relations. We welcome you and share our cacao with you today. Oh. And last of all, we welcome in Great Spirit. So I do this by placing my hand on my heart. Great Spirit has many, many names, 1,000 names, and yet is still the unnameable one. I like to think of this energy as one, the source. I like to think of it as creation energy. You might call it God. You might have another name for it, and it's all good. Whatever you call in, we are calling in the life force that exists in all that is. We welcome you to our ceremony. We thank you for connecting us up with each other through the matrix of the internet and also through the matrix of consciousness of all that is, and for connecting us up with the spirit of the forest today. We thank you and share our cacao with you. Oh. And now if you're ready to drink your cacao, please do. And don't worry if you're not drinking cacao, it's all good. I will guide you through the process that we're going to go on today to connect with the spirit of the forest. Now, the spirit of the forest we could work with in different ways. And I want to guide you today to work with the spirit of the forest within the middle realm. The shamanic perception of reality, it helps if we divide it up. Humans like to put things in boxes and make things clear and more easy to understand, which is a wonderful thing. And so with the shamanic perspective of reality, there are 3 layers of reality. There is this layer, which we all exist on together, the middle realm, and we'll be staying in the middle realm on our journey today, even though we will be shifting into a shamanic consciousness and altering the way that we perceive. Now, we do that with the help of the gongs and the help of the guidance that I'm offering you, and if you're drinking cacao, the help of Mama Cacao. When we journey into the lower realms, sometimes, and you might automatically go into a lower realm journey today if you find yourself being called to go down a tunnel and connect with the underworld, that's all good and fine. But also, and we can do that through trees as well. Sometimes you'll find a hole in the roots of the trees, or there might even be like a fairy door in a tree that you're called to go through, and that's all good. Also, we can climb up through the trees into the upper realms. The upper realms is where we connect with our higher selves, the angelic beings. The lower realms, we connect more with our unconscious, our inner selves, and also the archetypes of nature. So you could also very powerfully connect with the spirit of the forest in the lower realm if you wish to. However, I will be guiding you into the middle realm today, and I will call you back again from whichever realm you are working with at the very end of the journey. So at the beginning of the journey, I will be inviting you just to relax your body. I'll start playing the gongs and we'll weave the sounds of the gongs and some other shamanic instruments potentially today as well into that process. We're going to relax the body, just starting at the top of the head and working all the way down to the tips of the toes. Once we've relaxed through the physical layers, I'll then ask you to activate your third eye. Now, don't get too excited about this. It's not necessarily, for those of you who are new to shamanic journeying, it's not necessarily like a clear vision as if you're watching something on the TV or you're dreaming. It can be, but sometimes it's more of a sensory perception. It's more of a knowing. So you might hear things in your auditory system. You might see things with your visual cortex. But most often people just sense things in a different way. And so be open to receiving messages from the spirit realm and from the spirit of the forest in whichever way they come through for you. It varies for everybody. And for me, it varies every time I do a journey. I never know exactly what's going to come through or how it's going to come through. Sometimes the messages are really, really simple. And my personal message from the forest was very simple when I did this journey to check in. What journey am I going to take everybody on this new moon? So every ceremony that I host, I always ask Mama Cacao, where shall I take them this moon? What shall I do? And she tells me. So I'm following her guidance today automatically before we even begin. So when I journey to meet the forest, we will be allowing that third eye to activate, imagining that it's a tiny little sparkle of pure white light. Then we'll imagine that it's actually leaving our physical body, but it's tethered to us through a silver cord and going on a journey into a forest that you already know about, that you already love. So this could be it doesn't have to be a big forest. It doesn't have to be like a jungle. It could be a small patch of trees that you know in your local park. It could even be a little tree that you've planted in your garden and that you just want to connect with. When we connect with the spirit of the forest, then it's really absolutely fine just to connect with one tree or connect with a group of trees, however you feel. And when we get to the forest, the place where you're sitting, be open as to who or what wants to talk to you. It could be the trees. I'm picturing trees because that was my journey. However, for you, it could be a fairy spirit. It could be a plant spirit. Maybe it's the bluebells that have just mostly finished flowering where I live, but maybe if you live further north, they may still be flowering. It could be anything at all that comes through for you today. It could even be the spirit of Mama Cacao. The very first journey that I did when I met Mama Cacao was very automatic. There was no guidance, but Mama Cacao came through the forest to me as a little tiny purple will of the wisp. And that's a little purple flame that comes out of the gases that are emitted from the forest. So however you journey, whatever you see, whatever you sense, open your mind, open your heart to receive the information that comes through, and trust that whatever comes through is the right message or the right story that you need to experience today. If you go to sleep, which is also very possible, particularly if you're tired, then remember we're going into the forest. It's for rest. So it's quite possible that you go deep today. We will see what the gongs want to do as well. Now, for those of you who are new to journeying, then bear in mind that sometimes laying on your bed is not the best place to journey from because we associate it with going to sleep. So you might, if you are in your bedroom and you need to be in that space, then you might prefer to sit up on the bed supported by pillows and cushions, all cozy. Otherwise, find yourself a nice place where you can rest and close your eyes. You might even want to darken the space that you're in a little bit so that you can allow your third eye, if it is going to have some visuals, to be fully active and see what you need to see. Okay, so it's a very simple gong journey with a guided meditation, also facilitated by the wonderful medicine of cacao. For anyone who is new to cacao, then cacao will also help you to relax, to soften, to allow your heart chakra to activate, and to see through your heart's eyes. And this is another way that we can see reality. And this is one of the main teachings that I have discovered through working with Mama Cacao for many years now, that she helps me to see through my heart's eyes rather than my mind's eye. The mind tends to be full of anxiety and always looking for problems to solve, which is a marvelous gift, but it can be very distracting, and we really need it to work for our heart. Our heart should be the boss, and the head should follow its orders. So tuning into the heart chakra today as we move into the forest. Okay, so I hope that you are ready to settle down and experience the journey now. For anyone that's still drinking their cacao, remember this is a video, and even if you're here as part of the live ceremony, then you can also pause it. So get yourself ready into a nice space, cozy up with some blankets if that feels right for you, and I will begin warming up the gongs and helping you to soften into the space that you're in. So as we warm up the gongs, just closing our eyes, taking some deep breaths, and breathing out, relaxing and letting go of any tension that you're aware of holding in your body again. Really good, really nice, long, deep breaths. Let's start to relax through the physical layers of the body. Let's relax through the forehead. Relaxing through the eyes and the muscles around the eyes. Relaxing through the cheeks, the mouth and the jaw. Relaxing into the neck and the shoulders, letting those shoulders drop any of the burdens that they've been carrying. Relaxing down through the arms now, first the upper arms softening, then the forearms, then the hands and the fingers, just letting go, going nice and loose and limp. Relaxing down through the muscles of the back, the muscles either side of the spine, the muscles that run through the ribs, the intercostal muscles. As they soften, your breathing can expand into your chest as well, so that your chest is opening up more now. Expanding out that relaxation into the abdomen and the lower abdomen so that your belly is expanding too on the in-breath. Relaxing down through the lower back. Relaxing into the hips, into the pelvis, down through the hips and into the thighs now. Relaxing into the knees, the calves, the shins, the ankles. Further down now into the feet and into the toes. Now our physical body is softening. It's time for us to activate the third eye. So let's begin by tuning in to the space in our minds. Imagining that our mind is completely empty like the void of space. You might want to imagine it like a black void, except for one tiny spark of pure white light. It's right in the middle of that void, like a star far away in the distance. And it starts to get bigger and brighter, and bigger and brighter, and bigger and brighter, until it fills up the whole of the void. It starts to expand out into the physical body, down through the neck, the shoulders, the arms, the hands, down through the back, into the chest, into the abdomen, the lower abdomen. Even further now, down through the pelvis, into the hips, the thighs, the calves, the shins, down into the ankles and the feet and the toes. Allow it to expand a little bit more out into the room that you're in, so that you're filling up the whole of the room that you're in, unless you're blessed to be outside for this journey, where you can expand into the space that you're in. Just expanding and sensing like a second skin everything that's in your space. Whether there's some other people journeying with you, or maybe your pets, your plants. Let's expand out into the landscape that surrounds you, whether you are in an urban environment or whether you're blessed to live in the countryside. Expanding out perhaps into the gardens around you first of all, and a little bit further out into the landscape, maybe a mile wide. And as you expand your consciousness a whole mile wide, imagining what's there. Are there buildings? Are there people? Are there trees? Are there bushes? Are there flowers? Are there birds and creepy crawlies? How is the sky sensing? Is it cold or warm? Is it night or day? How does the earth feel beneath you? Does it feel like rock or moist earth or sand? Sensing all of these different energies around you, all of this consciousness that surrounds us with our expanded consciousness. And now, because we're going to go on a journey into the forest, I want you to start to call your awareness back again. So let's first of all just pull our consciousness back into the room that we're in. Now let's put it back into the physical, so that we know where we begin and end as a physical being. We can sense our skin from the top of our head to the tips of our toes. Now let's draw that awareness all the way back, so that we can sense that tiny speck of pure white light in the mind's eye again. Now it's ready to go on a journey. I want you to think of a place where you would like to fly to. This could be a forest that you have very local to you, or it could be a forest you visited in a foreign country. Choose the place where you want to fly to now, and imagine that little white sparkle of light lifting up and out through your crown chakra on the very top of your head, and flying out through the room that you're in, flying up into the sky, surrounded by a golden mist that's protecting you, like the wings of angels are wrapped around you. You start to journey across the landscape towards the forest that you're choosing to go to. You may not be going very far, or you may be going halfway around the world. Just enjoying the journey. Flying through the air, watching the environment beneath you. Flying across the urban environment, perhaps rivers and roads. Flying across the countryside, perhaps towns, villages, or farms. Maybe you're even flying across oceans or mountains or deserts. And now we see the forest where we want to land, or the place where we're going to connect today, the landscape, which I invite you to begin to descend into. And as you descend, you feel like you're in an aeroplane coming into land, gently, safely coming into land now. And as you feel your feet touch the ground, the golden mist subsides and you find yourself standing on the solid ground again. And as you look around you, just notice what you're noticing. What's the temperature of the air like against your skin? Is the sun out where you are? Or is it a windy day, a cold day? Is it daytime or nighttime? Are you alone, or are there other beings there? Other animals or humans or plants? What beings are you aware of in this space? Is it busy or quiet? I want you to go for a walk into your place, perhaps your forest, perhaps your garden. And I want you to find yourself a sit spot. Perhaps there's an obvious path for you to walk through. You can make it up as you go along, moving through the landscape of the forest, finding your safe space where you're going to sit down and call for the spirit of the forest to manifest for you. So finding your space now, settling down, making yourself super comfortable, whether you're resting against a tree or laying down on the ground, finding a way to be comfortable in this space. And with your inner voice, you can call for the spirit of the forest and the place that you're in to come forward so that you can commune with it. It may come forward as a being in a more human type form, or it may come forward as a purple flame, the way Mama Cacao did for me the first time I met her. It may come forward as an animal spirit. There are many archetypes in different cultures that represent the spirit of the forest. Who will come through for you? Will it be a being that you've connected with before in some way? Will it be a brand new spirit guide for today's journey? reconnect with them, introducing yourself the same way as when you meet anybody new. And explain why you're here, to connect with the spirit of the forest and the landscape that you've come into. Now you might like to ask them if they have a message for you today. You might simply want to ask them what they can teach you. How do they view reality? How do they perceive time and space? Perhaps you have something in your life that you need to heal, or that you're working through right now as a question. Which path to take? So I'm going to let you have some time alone now in your space with the spirits that want to commune with you, knowing that you're safe and you're held. And I'll call you back in a little while and we can integrate these journeys together. us to return to our bodies. And so before we go, we can ask the question to the forest: is there anything that we can do for you? The Mayan tradition is to work in reciprocity, to work as a friend to nature, not just to take, but to nurture it, to give in equal measure as we take. So let's ask that question now. What can we give to you? What would you like us to do for you so that we can restore harmony with our relationship with nature? Just being aware of the messages that come through in whatever form, whether they be visual or auditory or sensory or a knowing within. Thanking the forest, the landscape and the beings that you've been hanging out with, and starting to make your way home to your body. The golden mist comes and scoops you up from where you are and lifts you up and starts to carry you home towards your body, across the landscape, across the forest, across the mountains, the deserts, the oceans, the rivers, across the towns and the countryside, all the way back to the place where your body is resting. You feel yourself descend into the landscape where your body lives. And this moment, you come back into the space that your body is resting. You fly back in through your crown chakra, and you're home again. Welcome home, everybody. As you start to become more aware in your body, giving your fingers a wiggle, your toes a wiggle, you might need a nice big breath of air, a big yawn and a stretch, just like when we wake up in the morning. And bringing back the conscious awareness that you gathered on your journey in whichever form you received it. And just being aware of what you're noticing right now. And as you come back, weaving that information in from your right brain consciousness, your shamanic brain, into your left brain. And perfect timing, we have a helicopter flying overhead, which couldn't have been better timed, because that would have interrupted our journey had it happened earlier. So thank you, universe, for protecting us from that synchronicity. And now we're going to close the ceremony by saying goodbye to the 7 directions. And first of all, we'll begin in the east. And so as I turn to face the east, I thank the spirits of the east. I thank the dawn and the rising sun. I thank the fire energy, the new day, for Condor and Eagle who guided us through our journey so that we could connect into the spirit of all that is and see what we needed to see. We thank you and release you. Connecting in with the spirits of the south, we thank you. We thank the water, the flow of life, the day and the warmth of the sun, and we thank Mama Snake for helping us today to release what holds us back from expanding into our fullness. We thank you and release you. Oh. Connecting in with our friends in the west, the dusk and the setting sun, celebrating who we are, who we've already become, and thanking Mama Jaguar for guiding us into that medicine space, helping us to be brave warriors, facing shadows that might needed to have been faced today, and helping us to bring them home again, healing and integrating us. We thank you and we release you. Aho. Connecting in with our friends in the north, the night and the moon shining, the air and clarity of thought, our ancestors and hummingbird. Thank you for bringing us home again. We release you. Aho. Connecting with the earth beneath our feet. We welcome you. We thank you and release you. We're always wanting to welcome that connection though, because we want to live in harmony with our earth. We want to create harmony. So as we leave this ceremonial space, we welcome the connection that we've made today, the ongoing connection and the wisdom and the harmony that you bring through. Thank you. And we release all our earth relations from this moment, this ceremony. Connecting with Father Sky, we thank you for the breath of life, the winds of change, the blue skies and the grey. And we release you from our ceremony. And we thank Grandmother Moon, we release you. We thank Grandfather Sun, and we release you. We thank the cosmic realm, the star nations, and we release you. And finally, we connect and thank Great Spirit, the creative force that lives in all that is. We thank you for this moment of connection in ceremony and all the wisdom and all the healing that you bring through for us. Thank you. We release you. And I thank you and release you as well. Thank you for joining me. Okay, so we are now released from our ceremony, but now it is time to integrate. Integration is the process of recalling as much of the information that you received in whatever way it came through. I would encourage you to journal at this point and then to notice what came through within the journaling. Read through it after you've written it, and then sometimes new stories, new layers come through, new awareness comes through. Sometimes the information that comes through is really practical, grounded, obvious. Sometimes it's more symbolic, and sometimes you just fell asleep and had a nice deep rest. It's all good, whatever comes. I hope you enjoyed your ceremony today, and if you would like to get in touch, leave me a comment under this video or send me a message more privately. That's all good. I love to hear how you've got on and how this ceremony worked for you, what insights you gathered. And I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in ceremony. Thank you for joining me.